Him and seek His help and forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from our soul's evils and our wrongdoings, and whom Allah guides, no one can misguide, and whom He misguides, no one can guide. I bear witness there is no God but Allah, alone, without any partners, and I bear witness that Muhammad is His servant and messenger. O Allah, send prayers upon Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad, just as you sent prayers upon Ibrahim and the followers of Ibrahim. Verily you are full of praise and majesty. O Allah, send blessings upon Muhammad and upon the family of Muhammad, just as you sent blessings upon Ibrahim and upon the family of Ibrahim. Verily you are full of praise and majesty. And be not like those who forget Allah, so He made them forget themselves. Those are the defiantly disobedient. Allah mentions this in Surah Hashr. So, how do we forget Allah? There's only one way in which we forget Allah, and that is by being heedless and getting stuck inside of the dunya by following our desires. Forgetting His rights and His commands whilst we are heedless in this dunya is the main reason why we forget Allah. And by forgetting Allah, we are obedient to shaitan and nafs in the same time. And by forgetting them, Allah mentions after this that so He made them forget themselves. This is actually quite a severe punishment, as Allah has left these people to their disobedience, and He's made them forget themselves. How? Because He's made them forget their reality. We all know from the journey of man that we come from the world of the spirits, and then we entered this realm, and we come and we know also that we're going to leave this realm as well. We're not going to be here forever. Many people out there believe that, they know that death is a reality, but they think that death is a long way away. So it's actually quite a severe punishment, as these people are left to their disobedience. So there's 3 things that make you forget your reality and purpose. That is shaitan, nafs, and dunya. These 3 things, when they're combined, they make a person heedless to the extreme that he forgets Allah. And then if this continues, Allah will also make him forget himself, to the point where he will continue in his disobedience until the angel of death comes to take his soul. So these 3 things that distract us from our reality and our purpose, they cannot win, but rather you both lose. So in, for example, a boxing fight, there's one winner and one loser. But in this dunya, when we entered, which shaitan, nafs and dunya are our enemies, they cannot win. Only we can win, or we both lose. Because shaitan, nafs and dunya, they can only lose. And for example, shaitan, everyone knows that shaitan is not actually distracting us and making us think, oh, if I take such a person to hell, then that means I will enter heaven. No, he knows that he's going to hell himself, and he's trying to take us all with him. So he's going to lose anyway, but he's trying to drag us along with him. In the same way with nafs, we already know that the nafs, whether if it enjoys in this dunya and it distracts us, it's not going to win either. That's going to be punished in hell as well. And with regards to dunya, with its distractions, we know when the trumpet is blown just before the day of resurrection, the dunya is going to be exterminated. So it's going to be destroyed. So all 3 of these things that are distracting us, they can't win, but only we lose. So only the human being can lose. So first of all, we need to know how they distract us. So the nafs, the ego's desire, it only wants pleasure, whether it's halal or it's haram. It does not differentiate between whether it's obeying Allah or is disobeying Allah. His biggest weapon of the nafs is feelings, and it uses this to get what it wants. So, for example, laziness. Laziness is a feeling that it uses to, for example, a person feels lazy and he doesn't want to pray. So the nafs is what it feels lazy itself. It's not, that's the actual weapon that it uses to get what it wants. Or, for example, anger. Anger is another feeling of the nafs, and it uses this to hit someone, for example. Let's say, for example, someone's done something to you. It's the feeling of anger that the nafs has brought upon itself that it actually forces you to hit someone. See, the nafs is like Ustaad has mentioned a few weeks ago in Thursday Majlis, that the nafs is where whenever it's gone into heedlessness, it's not where it started that you now committing sins. It's actually started a long time before that, when you started feeding it. You see, the nafs is like a snake. It might be small at the beginning, and you slowly start to feed it. You might think, oh, it's okay, it's small, it's not going to do nothing. But eventually what will happen is, over time, as you keep feeding the snake, it's going to grow. When it grows, that's when it will actually swallow you whole, and that's when you go into the bit large major sins again, because of initially started on the laziness, and then it started through the smaller sins, and it started to grow into the major sins, to the point where you might at first say, oh, I'm not going to pray with Jamaat. Then it might be, oh, I'm not going to pray my Sunnah. And then, oh, I'm not going to pray my Witr. I'm just going to pray my Farz. Eventually, it will start to get bigger and bigger and bigger, until it will make you actually leave your Farz as well. Now, that's what we don't realize. We realize that we know the nafs, and we think that, oh, it's okay, give it a bit of enjoyment, or give it a bit of, or it's only a small sin, or it's only a bit of laziness. But we don't realize that this snake, we're actually feeding it and growing. It's growing as we speak. It's not just, it didn't just all of a sudden one day you woke up and you've, for example, missed your salah that day, or for example, you committed a major sin. It took time. Maybe if you look back into where it started to be fed, it might have been 2 to 3 years ago. It might have been about 6 months ago. It's not just started now, but that is how the nafs, slowly but surely, it weakens us by strengthening itself, by slowly, through its feelings, trying to distract you. The next is dunya. So how does dunya distract us? It's through the temptations, lust, women, cars, money, for example. It tries to lure us into its trap through this. Many of us have heard of the story that Imam Ghazali mentioned about the person who was stuck in a jungle. And whilst he was stuck in this jungle, he saw a hungry lion in front of him. And this hungry lion saw him, and he's not eaten in days. So he starts to chase him. And whilst he's chasing him, he's running from this lion. And he sees this well, and that's the only place he can seek refuge from this lion. So he jumps into this well, and he's hanging on by a branch. And if he looks, he's looking up now, and there's this lion waiting for him. And then he looks down, and he sees a snake waiting there. And he's got his mouth open. And he's in a situation now where he's thinking, I can't go up and I can't go down, I'm stuck. And then he sees one white mouse and one black mouse. And what they start to do is they start to nibble on the branch. So this person's in quite a bad situation now. And he doesn't know how to get out of this situation. But for 1 second he sees this, he sees honey at the end of the branch. And he goes out and he sticks his finger in it and he licks it. And for that 1 second, he gets a bit of pleasure. That's what this dunya is like. Imam Ghazali mentioned that the lion itself is like death. It's chasing you. Eventually it will get you. It's not, you can't run from it. It's faster than you. The snake which is at the bottom of the well is like your grave. Eventually one day you will enter it. And the white and black mouse that are nibbling on the branch, that's night and day. Eventually they will break the branch. And the honey that you've had in your mouth just for that one split second, that's like the temptations of this dunya and the pleasure of this dunya. That for that 1 second we have forgotten our reality. Now Allah's commanded dunya to serve us, but if you see in the dunya, we are serving the actual dunya, and that's why it's just got us into this trap of heedlessness. If you look at, for example, politicians and singers, they're the biggest example there. If you look at their lives, they're the biggest servants of dunya. But if you still look into their lives, many of them commit suicide. Why? Because it's not faithful to anyone. It will just take what it wants off you, and it will just leave you there. So look how dunya finished them off. Look at these politicians, for example, after they leave their political career. They just, everyone, name me one politician that someone's ever spoken good about after they've left. So after this we have shaitan. Now shaitan, there's two ways shaitan influences us. We all know about the conversation between the Prophet of Bani Israel, I think, and the shaitan, in which the shaitan came to the Prophet and asked them, how is it that no matter what I do, you're not distracted by it? And he mentioned that, I want to ask you something as well. How do you distract people? And the shaitan said, I asked you first. But he mentioned to him, but your shaitan, I will tell you and you will not tell me. And then he replied that, yes, you're right, that is correct. So he said to him, so how is it that you distract people? And he mentioned there's two. There is desires, which we can see as dunya, the lusts of the dunya, the women, the cars, the power. And the second thing is anger, which is a trait of the nafs, which is a feeling. So from this, we know that shaitan, when it comes to the dunya, he's like a salesman, where he sells the temptations of the dunya to us. And he knows our weaknesses and our desires of our nafs, what they are, and how we get stuck into these desires. So secondly he mentioned that the nafs and how the nafs affects us. He mentioned anger. So he uses the nafs by manipulating it and to try to get a reaction from the nafs. And he uses anger. For example, if someone swears at you, that person he will say to him, oh, what, are you going to let him get away with that? Are you not going to do nothing? That's the shaitan. He's trying to manipulate the nafs and trying to egg him on to get a reaction out of him. And laziness, it's cold outside, do you really want to go pray Jamaat with Jamaat? So he will try to get a reaction out of him through that. Jealousy is another trait of that he manipulates. Or let's say, for example, if someone gets a new car or a new house, he'll say, that should be yours, not his. What are you doing with that? What is he doing with that? And then he will create that. He will try to spark that. He's like a person with a lighter. He's trying to spark the fire. So he uses both dunya and nafs to try to make us heedless, and try to make us forget our reality. So all three have one purpose, and that is to make you heedless. But how do we protect ourselves from all three enemies? The Mashaykh, they've given us a layered protection against all three. so they can't harm us. See, the main problem that we have is that we think that we can have both, in terms of we can have two objectives. Sometimes we can focus on our business, and we think that our objective is our business. We need to get to X amount of money, or we need to earn such amount of money a month, or we need to reach it. We need to open certain amount of businesses. Sometimes it's family, or I have to put my child through private school, or I have to do this. Or sometimes it's also their own desires are there. Or I want to be this certain person. I want to be a politician. I want to be, for example, a footballer. So he will make that the purpose of his life. So firstly, the Mashayikh mentioned that to make Allah your objective, and when a person has Allah as his objective, then his whole life revolves around Allah. When his whole life revolves around Allah, then what happens automatically is every decision he makes, it puts Allah first, as in, how would this affect my relationship with Allah? So it's like a Kaaba, how we physically do the tawaf around the Kaaba. If a person makes Allah your objective, it's like a physical manifestation of this. That if your heart is like your Kaaba that runs your whole body. So if whatever's in your heart is whatever your whole body is going to revolve around, your mind and your body is going to revolve around. So if we make Allah our objective, then our life will revolve around Allah. Also, dunya will serve you instead of you serving it. So many people we know that go on dawah trips, and we know that if you ask them, they'll say that whilst we were away, everything was getting taken care of. So how is that when Shaitan puts in our mind that, oh, you have to be here, you have to look after your family, or who's going to do this, who's going to pay your bills when you're away, who's going to look after your business, for example. They further mention to build 5 walls around you so you can't be harmed. These 5 walls that you can build, it won't just protect you against one of these enemies, it will protect you against all 3. So each one of these walls, if one is damaged, then shaitan, nafs and dunya, they will enter through that wall. It's like gates. So it's like you've built a whole fortress around yourself, but you've got 5 gates that you can enter through. And if one gate is damaged, you can still enter through that. So what are the 5 walls? So the first wall is to work for dunya. To work for dunya, to earn a halal income. So to work hard, but don't seek money than what is destined for you. Some people work hard, but they're not satisfied. They think that, oh, I'm earning £20,000 a year after tax. Let's say that's 15 for argument's sake. That's not enough. I'm just about getting by. But they're earning, but they're not happy and they're not content with that. So if you're not content with that, what that could lead to is haram, and it can also take you away from the deen. Because if, for example, your expenses, you're working hard, but let's say you've got a lease car, and you got a mortgage, and you got all these bills, extra bills going out. You're going 3 holidays a year. These expenses are going to add up, and because you're working hard, but because you're not earning the sort of money that you're living your lifestyle with, what's going to happen then is that it's going to lead you to haram, and you're going to start to earn haram money and haram rizq. And as soon as you start to focus more on that, again, heedlessness will enter, and it will lead you away from the deen. So how does working for the dunya protect you from shaitan, nafs, and the dunya itself? So it prevents you from becoming lazy. So let's say, for example, it's been this storm has happened last week, whatever they call it, Storm Emma. They have the best names. But they had this storm, and nobody, it was -6 outside. Nobody wanted to wake up at 7 o'clock. But you know that if you don't wake up at 7 o'clock, then there's going to be a problem at work. Maybe your manager will say, "Why did you not come in?" So regardless of you being, whether you want to or you don't, you are forced to get up. So that's why working for dunya is important. And also it keeps your mind occupied, in that if people who don't work, they have a lot more time. And everybody's heard of the phrase, idle time is devil's time. So that is the first wall that a person should build. The second wall is that we should believe that death is waiting for us like a guest. When someone knocks, for example, if somebody knocks on your door and you say to them, let's say, for example, somebody knocks on your door, and let's say your brother goes and answers the door, and you're doing something in the kitchen, and it says, "Oh, your friend's knocked on the door, he's outside." You're still doing that thing, but back of your mind, you know that your friend is waiting at the door for you. So you even though you're busy in what you're doing, you realize that I need to go to the door, so I have to attend to him. In the same way, we should think that death is waiting like a guest for us in the other room or at the door. That is going to eventually, we're going to die. Like Mashak mentioned, that the angel of death visits every person every day, seeing what we are doing, and he will be taking us. So he's seeing what we're doing every single day. He comes to visit us. But again, because we're heedless, we don't understand this, and we're too busy focused in our own dunya. And Shaitan's got us in this trap where we think that death is quite a long time away. So this also, what this occurs is when death is waiting like a guest for you, you don't give dunya priority. Yes, you go to work. Yes, you look after your family. Yes, you pay the bills. But it's not your purpose. You know that you're just doing enough. So it can free your time up, so you can focus on what's the most important priority. So the second wall, which death is waiting like a guest for you, how does this create urgency? How does the gate keep Shaitan away? It creates urgency, in that you realize that you got more important things to worry about than, let's say, for example, you could be going to a football game. You could be, let's say, it takes you an hour to go there. Let's say, for example, Manchester United, your team is playing Arsenal. Let's say it's going to take you 4 hours to travel to London, and then it's going to be a 2-hour game, or whatever it is, half time, about 3 hours. Then it's another 4 hours back. Maybe then, yes, it's good. You should have free time, but maybe when that urgency kicks in and you've not been praying, you've been lazy on your salah, maybe you're thinking, hang on a minute, I need to prioritize here. That's a full day that could lose. So if you have this mentality that death is waiting for you, and the angel of death visits every person every day, then what that will happen is it will create a sense of urgency in you, so you actually forget about the things that don't matter and the thoughts. Like, we're bombarded with, some say, 60,000 thoughts and feelings a day. Most of these thoughts, it's like a conveyor belt of thoughts every day, but a lot of them we pick up on and we start thinking about them. Even them thoughts are heedlessness. So, for example, you have a task. For example, you listening to a bayan, or let's say, for example, you're reading a book. But what can happen is Shaitan could say, put into your mind, or next month, what's your bills that you have to pay? It could be a month away, but you're prioritizing that now. This is another way that he comes at you, through your thoughts, and he makes you think that other things that are not important at that specific time, he makes you lose focus on that thing. Now, Sayyidina Ali, I was actually reading a quote of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu the other day, and they mentioned that how foolish is man. He ruins the present by worrying about the future, and he weeps in the future by recalling the past. Now, if you look at what they mentioned that man is foolish because he thinks he worries about the future, but then when the future comes, he weeps about the past because he's wasted that time. And both there, they mention future and they also mention past, but they don't mention present. So, if, for example, a person builds this second wall, he focuses on the present and he realizes that, why am I thinking about 6 months down the line, a year down the line, where I'm going to be when when today, well, I don't know if today's my last day or if I'm going to go sleep, because they say sleep is the mind of death, so I don't even know if I'm going to get up in the morning. So it creates this urgency in a person. So the third wall that a person should build is that there's certain rights of Allah upon me. A person should understand this. Nobody else can fulfill them rights, like nobody else can eat for you. Nobody. We already know that a person knows that nobody can eat for me, or he knows that I have to sleep. Nobody else can go sleep for me on my behalf. In the same way, these rights that Allah has upon us, nobody else can fulfill these rights and except ourselves. So, for example, if a father knows that his responsibility is to provide for his children, he knows that's his responsibility. Nobody else is going to go out there and work on his behalf to give him money to feed his children. It's not going to happen. It's only going to be him who's going to go out there, whether he can't get a job. A father, how many fathers do you see, like in these poor countries, they'll go out and beg, or mothers go out and beg because they know that's their responsibility. In the same way, when we know that it's our responsibility and nobody else can go and do this for us on our behalf, then what happens is it makes the person realize that it's his responsibility. So this is how this third gate that we have in the wall is protected, is that a person, there is certain rights of Allah upon that person, and he acknowledges this. And what this does is it makes him avoid the heedlessness. Now the fourth wall that we have is Allah is with me and Allah is watching me. He is closely watching every deed of mine, and He never forgets. So when a person knows this, what happens is that the person feels like he's constantly being watched, and he feels like he's let's say for example a thief, when he goes into a supermarket, first thing he'll do is he'll check where the cameras are, and if he knows that there's no cameras, then he can relax a bit and he can plan. But when he knows the camera's there, he won't even act like he's doing anything. He'll act normal. And that's a camera. In the same way, when a person knows Allah is with me and watching me, and is closely watching every move that person makes, then what happens is that person feels like he shouldn't be committing these sins. And if a person falls, is different. But if a person's gone into heedlessness on this, then this is another gate that should be locked, so to make sure that a person can come back out of that heedlessness. And how does this affect the person? It affects the person because, and how does this actually help against the three enemies, is that the person then knows that Allah will hold him responsible for what he's doing. So if, for example, a person's going out and on a Saturday night to a club, he knows that if everything that he does will be held accountable at the end. Now the fifth wall and gate that should be built is that every breath of our life is coming to an end. That's something that's everyone knows. When you're eating, you're breathing. Even when you're sleeping, you're breathing. when you're going to work, you're breathing. Every time you're breathing, there's not a single moment in your life where you're not breathing. So with every breath, your life is coming to an end. So when a person has this mindset, then this stops a person from falling into ghafla. Now, how does this help a person from falling into heedlessness and also protecting against the three enemies? It helps a person as he realizes he's not got much time and time is against him. You see these game shows, don't you, when they go off time and they're running around like headless chickens. They're running around. You see, there's quite a few different ones, and because they're on a timer, they don't want to rest. In the same way, when a person realizes he's on a timer and the timer is his breaths, then what will happen is that he won't have time to be wandering about, or he won't have time to be going and doing gibbat or to do backbiting and stuff like that. He'll actually focus on what's his priorities and how to actually get out of the situation that he's in that he's fallen into through shaitan, dunya and nafs. Now, these 5 things, if you embed them into your brain to the extent that it becomes your reality by doing muraqabah and also meditation and focusing on them and making them a realization into your life, what we'll do is they won't just protect against one, they'll protect against all 3 of the enemies. And one of the ways that in which these walls can be built is if you follow the course that we teach at this Zawiya, and it is actually for the greatest need that we have, because all the other stuff, it's important, but it's temporal. There's been many people in the past that they've had more important tasks than us. If you look at, for example, great emperors, they've had a lot more responsibilities, but they're gone now. In the same way, we have our responsibilities, but because shaitan and dunya and nafs, they've got us so focused into there, we forget our reality. So this is another way in which we can actually come out of this and we can actually protect against these enemies. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Jazakallah khair to Ustaad Shaban for giving such a insightful nasiha. As you may be aware, in this centre as well as other centres across the northwest, there is a course that the Ustad was talking about, a course of self-purification known as Tariqa Muhammadiyah, and it's a way in which we can free ourselves of dunya, shaitan and nafs. So please come and approach myself. I will point you in the right direction of the Ustad who is going to be leading the study circle, inshallah. As you may be aware, there is currently a Pakistan Dawah trip underway, and the teacher of Tariqa Muhammadiyah, Sheikh Ahmed Dabagh, is currently in Pakistan. So to keep yourself posted, please like and share the Sheikh Ahmed Dabagh Facebook page. The brothers from Pakistan, you are encouraged to let family members know about the current whereabouts of our teacher, so the people of Pakistan can benefit in a great deal, inshallah. So to keep yourselves posted on the whereabouts of the teacher and the current expeditions that are going on, please like the Sheikh Ahmed Dabagh Facebook page. Please also like and share these posts. One of the greatest sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to convey this beautiful message. That was what they gave their life for. That was what they travelled to die for. That is what they were persecuted for, what their companions were persecuted for. And we, alhamdulillah, we have such a blessed opportunity to do this work, which is the work of the prophets and messengers. and that no other ummah was given the responsibility to give this message apart from us. And how great is it that we can sit on our sofas and lie down and relax whilst completing this great message. So we are encouraged to like and share and tell others about the motivational reminders that are posted on the Sheikh Ahmed Dabagh page. From the 1st till the 15th of April, there is a Umrah trip. Also, they'll be visiting the lands of Egypt, where they'll be doing ziyaras as well. So if you would like more information on this, please approach Brother Waqas. If you do not know who Brother Waqas is, please come to myself. I will point you in the right direction. If you like tips and advice at your fingertips, there is a public WhatsApp and Telegram group opened called Ibreeze. If you want a qualified answer to your questions in the categories of fiqh, aqidah, and namely the path that leads to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His closeness and pleasure, then please give your names and numbers to Brother Shabir Hassan. Again, if you don't know who Brother Shabir Hassan is, approach myself and I will point you in the right direction. There is a youth retreat from the 13th to the 15th of April. The first 20 people will get the special prize of £99. But I'd hurry up because there are only a limited number of spaces. Activities include fencing, swimming, and loads of other activities like the leap of faith as well. And this is also, there'll be workshops on how to overcome addictions, perfect your marriage, and so on and so forth, inshallah. Now I would request the brothers to, inshallah, to stand up, let some blood rush to your legs, and get comfortable. Now it'll be the time of the Dhikr. So the etiquettes are, please raise your voices. This is a loud Dhikr, it's not a quiet Dhikr. Please follow the Ustaad who's going to be leading the Dhikr. Try not to go ahead and rectify any intention, inshallah azza wa jal. You may now be seated, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. فقال عز وجل في المقام الآخر بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك. صدق الله العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا. مولاي دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. على حبيبك كلهم. على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته. هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته لكل حول من الأحوال. لكل حول من الأحوال مقتهن. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين. محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين. والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات والأرض أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله 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 إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله 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 يا 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 الله 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 لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله 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 لا مقصود إلا الله لا مقصود إلا الله لا مقصود إلا الله لا مقصود إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا معبود إلا الله لا معبود إلا الله لا معبود إلا الله لا معبود إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا مسجود إلا الله لا مسجود إلا الله لا مسجود إلا الله لا مسجود إلا الله لا إله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول 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 الله لا إله إلا الله محمد صفي 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 الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نور 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 الله لا إله إلا الله محمد خليل 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 الله لا إله إلا الله محمد كليم الله لا إله إلا الله محمد كليم الله لا إله إلا الله محمد كليم الله لا إله إلا الله محمد حبيب 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 الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم يا حي يا قيوم وأتوب إليه اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى وصحابه وسلم اللهم सल्ली अला सय्यदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि वसल्लिम अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला सय्यदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि वसल्लिम। मैं ब्रदर जाबिर से रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि माइक अंकल अली अनीस को दे दें, वो दुआ करवा दें। जज़ाकल्लाह।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व अला आलि मुहम्मद कमा सल्लैता अला इब्राहीम व अला आलि इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला मुहम्मद व अला आलि मुहम्मद कमा बारकता अला इब्राहीम व अला आलि इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। रब्बना आतिना फिद दुनिया हसना व फिल आखिरति हसना व क़िना अज़ाबन्नार। अदखिलना जन्नत मअल अबरार या अज़ीज़ो या गफ़्फ़ार या रब्बल आलमीन। अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी असअलुका अफ़्वा वल आफ़िया फ़िद दुनिया वल आखिरा। अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी असअलुका अफ़्वा वल आफ़िया फ़ी दीनी व दुनियाई व अहली व माली। अल्लाहुम्मा अस्तुराती व आमिर राती। अल्लाहुम्मा अफ़ज़नी मिन बैन यदैया मिन ख़ल्फ़ी यमीनी व शिमाली व मिन फ़ौक़ी व अऊज़ु बिअज़मतिका अन उग़्ताला मिन तहती। अमसैना अल मुल्कु लिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी असअलुका वल आफ़िया फ़िद दुनिया वल आखिरा। अमसैना अल मुल्कु लिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी असअलुका खैर हाज़िहिल लैलति फ़तहहु व नसरहु व नूरहु व बरकतहु व हुदाहु व अऊज़ु बिका मिन शर्रि मा फ़ी शर्रि मा बादहा। या अल्लाह, जो कलाम पाक, जो दुरूद शरीफ, जो ज़िक्र किया गया है, जो नसीहत और वाज़ की गई, अपनी बारगाह अक़दस में से कबूल फरमा और हमारे लिए हमारी नजात का ज़रिया बना और हमें इस पे कायम रख। या अल्लाह, ख़ात्मा बिल ईमान, और जो भी नेकी छोटी बड़ी जो कर रहे हैं, या अल्लाह अपनी बारगाह में कबूल फरमा। या अल्लाह, हमारे पास कोई ऐसा अमल नहीं है, कोई नेकी नहीं है जो तेरी बारगाह में पेश करें। या अल्लाह, तेरी रहमत और तेरा फ़ज़ल है। तू जानता है, हम नहीं जानते। तू ताकत रखता है, हम ताकत नहीं रखते। हमारे लिए जो बेहतर है या अल्लाह, वो हमारा मुक़द्दर फरमा। जिसमें शर और बुराई है, हमें उससे दूर कर। या अल्लाह, ख़ात्मा बिल ईमान, या अल्लाह, हमें भी अपने नेक लोगों के, हमारे मशाइख़ के साथ आलम बरज़ख में क़यामत के दिन, या अल्लाह रोज़े हश्र के दिन उनके साथ इकट्ठा फरमा। या अल्लाह, हमारा ख़ात्मा अच्छा फरमा। तू जानता है हमारे साथ क्या होने वाला है। या अल्लाह, कब्र की मंजिलों को आसान फरमा। या अल्लाह, दुनिया में जो कमज़ोर हैं, या अल्लाह जो नाचार हैं, जो बीमार हैं, या अल्लाह उनकी मदद फरमा, उनकी बीमारियाँ दूर कर। या अल्लाह, जो ज़रूरतमंद हैं उनकी ज़रूरतें पूरी कर। या अल्लाह, हमारे साथी, हमारे मशाइख़ जो दीन का काम कर रहे हैं, जो पाकिस्तान में हैं और दूसरे मुल्कों में हैं, या अल्लाह उनकी मदद फरमा और उनके लिए आसानियाँ पैदा फरमा। या अल्लाह, उनके लिए आसानियाँ पैदा फरमा, लोगों को समझना आसान कर दे। या अल्लाह, शयातीन के शर से दूर कर दे। या अल्लाह, उन्हें समझाना आसान फरमा। या अल्लाह, हमें भी किसी भी हाल में उनकी मदद करने की तौफ़ीक़ अता फरमा। जो हमसे हो सकता है, जो कर सकते हैं, या अल्लाह उसे कबूल फरमा। या अल्लाह, तू रहम करने वाली ज़ात पाक है। तेरा ही अर्श करीम है, तू अर्श अज़ीम का रब है। तेरा ही है जो कुछ आसमानों में है, जो कुछ ज़मीनों में है, जो कुछ भी इसके दरमियान है। तो उससे तेरे बड़े फ़ज़ल का वास्ता है। तू रहम करने वालों में सबसे ज़्यादा रहम करने वाली ज़ात पाक है। हमारा कोई गुनाह बख्शे बगैर न छोड़। जो हमारी कोई हाज जो तुझे पसंद हो पूरी किए बगैर न छोड़। आक़ाए दो जहान नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के वास्ते वसीला जलीला से या अल्लाह तवज्जे हैं या अल्लाह हमारी ये दुआएं ये अपनी बारगाह में कबूल फरमा। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन व अला असहाबि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन व अला अंसारि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन व अला अज़वाजि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन व अला ज़ुर्रिय्याति सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन व सल्लम तस्लीमन कसीरा। सुब्हान रब्बिक रब्बिल इज़्ज़ति अम्मा यसिफून व सलामुन अलल मुरसलीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। आमीन या रहमतिक या अरहमर राहिमीन। आमीन।